All right, this was a build-around submission for 5-color EgNivmatic control. So the build-around requirement was, let's play 5-color Niv along with Enigmatic Incarnation to tutor up 5-color Niv. And I was looking at all the different cards I wanted to play, and naturally the only conclusion I had was I needed to play Yorion so that way we could fit all of the cards I wanted to fit in here, which is fine because we've got 7 copies. We can get 7 copies of Niv. Yeah, and if you have Enigmatic Incarnation, you could like get Niv plus a Yarok and get 2 triggers, which sounds great. We've got Oathakaya and Disinformation Campaign, a little Fox News here to sacrifice to find some various 4-drops. We've got Binding to turn into Nivs. We've got some Geese and some Paradise Druid for some fixing. Omen of the Sea is like technically fixing in a way because it like helps smooth the mana base. Speaking of the mana base, let's just call it mostly a disaster. So I've got 10 Triomes, 2 of each, and I've got a bunch of green shock lands so we can cast our fixing, and we'll see if the mana's functional. By the numbers, I think it's functional, but statistically and like anecdotally tend to be very, very different things. It's a lot of tapped land. It's actually not that many tapped lands if you think about it, because remember our deck is 33% larger than a typical 60-card standard deck. So if we get rid of 33% of those lands, it's like we're playing 7 tapped lands in a 60-card deck, which isn't that many. Like control decks frequently play, 4 to 6 tapped lands. We're only over by a little. That's another important ratio, and I think it's a much better way to think about it. You don't want to think about how many tapped lands you're playing so much as you want to think about how many untapped lands you're playing. Well, I'm gonna keep this one. Read. Read. Is top right the correct play? Top right might be the correct play. From the quarter of your sloth. Good morning, good morning. Alright, now we can top right. Or to power up, or to kill my thing. Back it up, back it in. Let me begin. Fracture, an extra Vanishing Verse, some Knights of Autumn. Hostage Taker's absurd here. This is probably not necessary. Tolsimir might be useful. Disinformation Campaign's probably not very good. I mean, Hostage Taker is just a ravenous chupacabra, for lack of a better term. Yeah, the way the deck and mana base are constructed, our base is everything but red, with a small red splash at the top end. for Niv and Klothys. Yeah, you can check my Twitter for when the nerfed historic cards were leaked for some thoughts on them, MB. I posted the leaks the day they were data mined and gave some thoughts on them. I assume we're gonna lose Vanishing Verse here. Yeah, hopefully we'll have a day with slightly less Jeskai control than yesterday. Nailed it. Never didn't have it. Oh, I could draw a goose, right? Let's cast this now. So 28 months for Sith. And I'm not making any promises about Moto stuff in the long term. It's looking like we are gonna try to play some Modern, but like if it's just like a raging dumpster fire of counter spells and 3-mana Tefreeze, we're gonna bail out real fast. Which there's a very real chance that the format's just not fun. So like, I don't intend to play things that I don't enjoy. I'm past that part of my streaming career. We're just here to have a good time, chap. Is there a format I'm not a fan of? Well, I mean, we don't play Standard, and we don't play Limited. I'm not intending to take viewer-submitted Modern decks. If I play Modern and I find decks that I like for a week and seem fun, then we'll consider taking some viewer submissions. But until we get to that point, I'll take a couple of cards here. You know, no big. At the very least, I got to do this at least once, which is like all I wanted. Tabletop with friends. Now, I think Magic's a bad casual game. I play Magic for its competitive format. Magic's... let me rephrase. It's not that it's a bad casual game, so much that Magic is too expensive for me to enjoy casually personally. I have this giant shelf of board games behind me, and for like the price of one decent EDH deck, I could buy an entire shelf, maybe even multiple shelves on this thing behind me. So like, I'm hard pressed to we just attack with everything here, huh? I'm gonna play a blocker? I might just play a blocker. I'm not a huge fan of co-op board games because, in my experience, they tend to not be well balanced in terms of difficulty. They either tend to be way too hard or way too easy. Generally speaking, the games that my play group likes to like to play need to have a healthy amount of variance in them, because the people that we play games with has a pretty reasonable mix of like people that have played a bunch of Magic as well as Muggles, and like if your board games are too skill based, having Magic players play board games with Muggles is just not fair. Morning, James. Some of my favorite individual board games are here on my Twitter. Yeah, deck builders are just like, we basically don't play deck building games at all, or if we do play it, we like group the Magic players and the non-Magic players together. Yeah, the best co-op games, in my experience, problem have rules built in that limit communication between players. Because you're correct, if a poorly done co-op game doesn't have rules that limit communication between players, you're just gonna have 1 to 2 people that basically tell everybody else what to do to min-max what's going on. Which also just ends up not being fun for everyone. Not being fun for most people, in my experience. I'm just gonna get solidly outlineared here. I have Kaya's Ghost form, which makes my interaction useless. Interactive decks are real bad against their archetype. Well, I guess that certain B-list interactive decks are bad against their archetype. I imagine Jeskai's probably okay. That deck's real good. Yes, Betrayal at House on the Hill is the one co-op game we play somewhat consistently in our rotation. Because it's a co-op game that's like co-op versus one other player. Essentially. Greeny T, thanks for the 39 months. Welcome back. No, I'm not familiar with Tapestry. You know, I think there's a chance that you could make the argument that Betrayal at House on the Hill is probably the best game Wizards of the Coast has ever produced. I can't think of any others offhand that really jump out at me. Is Ascension's a Wizards product? I don't think that's true, right? I thought that was a third-party studio. That game's old at this point though, so I don't remember which logo on the box. There's a box here somewhere. Believe it or not, it's difficult to quickly locate a box on my shelf. Ascension is not Wizards. Yeah, I didn't think so. Yeah, we're gonna attempt to murder this dwarf before we get Full Alchemist next turn. It appears we were unsuccessful in murdering the dwarf. Well, they just misclicked, and concession. I assume they meant to strategic planning there, and they accidentally clicked memory lapse. Yikes. Knacker, thanks for the 25 months. Welcome back. Yeah, I saw the Runeterra patch notes. I hope Runeterra can get their game back to a point where people enjoy it, myself included, but if I'm being completely bluntly honest, part of me feels a little bit smug about those patch notes because, like, I blocked a bunch of toxic idiots in their community who were really upset with me that I described the Runeterra format as a bit of a mess, given the state that it's been into now. Paper TCGs are a scam, and I've already been scammed once, and I won't be scammed a second time, so I have not tried Flesh and Blood. Skyclave doesn't do much here. I guess this kills tokens. Yeah, right? Like, there's so a lot of people, and this isn't something that's unique to Runeterra, but a lot of those smaller card games have what I would refer to as small fish syndrome, where, like, they're so desperate, the people that play them, to have the game that they like playing gain validation as a real game in the marketplace because it's the up-and-comer, that, like, they take any criticism about the game really personally because they view you being critical of the game as you trying to prevent the game from succeeding, as opposed to the reality of where a lot of critical feedback comes from as a, I don't like this thing and I think it could be made better because I want it to succeed. But yeah, it really made me chuckle because, like, my criticism of, like, things that Runeterra did poorly was, like, so incredibly tame. Especially, even my Magic criticism is fairly tame these days, if I'm being honest. Like, Jeff, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, a decade ago, he was, man, chat, don't judge people based on who they were in their early 20s. And honestly, probably a decade from now, I'm gonna say don't judge me based on who I was when I was 30. Honestly, I think it says a lot about someone as a person if they don't look back on themselves from a decade ago and go, man, I'm a better and different person than who I was a decade ago. Like, if you think you're the same quality of person today as you were 10 years ago, it probably says a lot about your ability to grow as an individual. And that's probably not even something that's limited to 20s to 30s. It's probably something that's just, like, always true. Like, personal growth is not a destination. It's a journey. It's funny too, and this really makes me chuckle, not to focus on idiots who were upset for too long, but when I described the Runeterra format that I was looking at as kind of a mess on social media, I believe my gut instinct first thing I typed out was fucking disaster, and then I decided that was probably a little much and I was gonna reclassify it as a bit of a mess. So I felt like so when people got upset by describing it as a bit of a mess, I was like, man, I thought I, like, filtered this into something that was, like, reasonable and kind of benign. Alright, so holding up Dovin's veto has some appeal here, but I also need to just, like, kill them. I can't just sit here and hold up interaction forever, so I'm gonna drop Shifty Boy and hope they don't kill me next turn, and then we'll start holding up these for after that. How much would it to be to cut in line today? For a $100 donation, you can be the next deck we play after this one. And remember, it's half that price if you want to wait in line. And waiting in line's not that long. A deck submitted today for $50 would get played on Friday. Now, upside here, Magma Opus can't kill Shifty Boy because he's pro-blue. Shifty Boy up in your base. Okay, and now I think... I'm winning this race, technically, right? Do I want to murder this 4-4 and give them a chance to do the thing? I think I want to murder the 4-4. They drew 2 new cards, but... they have to draw, like, exactly thing. Yeah, the token's blue, but I think, like... yeah, there's tire spitting here. They wanted the scry real bad, shit. They wanted the scry real bad. And they're not making a treasure here, so notably they likely don't even have Indomitable, and they're just tire spinning trying to find it. Should be in a pretty good spot here now. Hey, Too Much Dog, thank you for the 2 entire years of support. Or like 1 year plus 1 March 2020, as I like to call it. Lego! Started as a gift sub and decided I wanted to stay. Well, welcome back. Thanks for supporting. It's good to have you around. Look at my death touch Shifty Boy chip. I mean, one drops are real good charge. I have a Mardu variation of that deck in my deck editor that I haven't had a chance to play. Gunmetal Dragon, thank you for the 11 months. Welcome back. Got him. Got him. Put him flooded there a little bit, obviously. I will check out the Twitters this evening, James. Thanks for the rec. I think Knight's probably the best 1-mana creature in this format. Any idea what your average subscriber duration is? Offhand. That's a calculation I could. That's a good question. I'm gonna download a spreadsheet and we can calculate. It takes a second to download because there's a lot of subs. Humble brag. I think we mulligan this, right? Open Office is so much worse than Google Sheets. Wow, that's actually a lot higher than I was expecting. It's 14 and a half months is the average. All right, what am I doing here? I think it's just Incarnation. Apparently, Open Office. Oh, it does have a median function. I was like, it wasn't auto-completing a median function. What's the median is another question, though. How different is the median? The median is 12. That's actually a pretty reasonable data set. Yeah, that's the average of all the current subscribers, including... Oh yeah, we should guess this. Including gifties. Damn it, Niv. That's fine. Sky Noodle will blink him. And this killing Skyclave will give us a 4/4/2, which is nice. This is hexproof from black, not protection from black. Is that the highest on Twitch? Almost assuredly not. I would assume the highest average sub count is someone like Day9, who's one of the OGs. Like Day9. Day9 has like 100-month individual subs. That does include gifted subs, yeah. Just all subscribers currently active on the channel with no filtering. I think we shock this in and kill the Skyclave to get a blocker. Yeah, I mean, it was still better than a draw one, right? Oh, that's a good question. What was the I would Alright, fine. That's the last metric we can do, the mean, median, and mode. We'll teach an introductory finite math class here today and explain the difference between the three. Believe it or not, the mode is 1, which that doesn't surprise me. Gifted subs almost assuredly throw the mode off. Hey, Tordoff, thanks for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome to the channel. So I have all my colors at this point, and I kind of, if I draw a land, want to be able to cycle it. So I'm just going to go ahead and get a shock land here. Am I dead on board? I go block, take 3. I am unfortunately dead on board, huh? Block, take 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, we're exactly dead. Okay, so I have to cycle into something useful, huh? So I could hit a Goose, a Paradise Druid, or one of our exile something for 2. So let's cycle using those, leaving mana up that can cast those spells. Man, what a close game. Whoa, chat. Listen, chat, sometimes math is supposed to be for the attacker, okay? Sometimes the attacker should be doing the math. Alright, well now I don't think we can lose. think I miscounted there. I'm pretty sure we were dead if they smashed with everything. A little Fox News going on here. I should have attacked for 6. That's fine. Can't lose has been declared, chat. It doesn't matter that I missed the attack. Obviously, should have drawn first, because then Niv would have drawn an extra card. Yeah, you're right. In a strictly optimal sense, I should draw first because Niv potentially requires us to make a decision, and when we make a decision, we want to have the most information first. So what we draw off of campaign could impact what we want to take with Niv. So you're right. In a strictly correct sense, we want to stack information campaign first to resolve first in general. It's a good catch. That's probably better than Findbroker against their Scavenging Ooze deck. This is exactly the kind of matchup we want to play, where our opponent's playing something kind of fair that plays to the board. No, I believe the disinformation campaigns were largely run in 2015 and 2019. 2016, 2020? I will say, one thing we had been concerned about is the mana base, and so far in the games we've been playing, our mana's been functional, which is all you could really ask for. That's true. At some point, it never really stopped. Come on, chat. Won't somebody please think of her emails? I think we just deputy him. Yeah, it's looking like we're gonna try out some Modern. I'm thinking probably Tuesday next week or Monday. I'm not gonna do it on release day because getting cards on Moto on release day is an absolute crap show. I had to Google the term alternative facts. When the term alternative facts was used, and it was January 2017. Okay, yeah, sounds about right. Yeah, releases on Moto Thursday, so if people should go to town drafting over the weekend, and Staples, I'm gonna keep an eye on what card availability looks like on the place I can borrow cards from before I decide when I want to poke into things. Okay, so we're definitely murdering Scavenging Ooze here. Then am I Skyclaving this Lovestruck Beast, or am I running another Disinformation Campaign? We're definitely playing a 3-drop. The question is which one. Let's probably take the Lovestruck Beast off the table. I just want to alleviate some pressure. And like next turn we get to go Goose Campaign tapped land, potentially. I guess it depends on what this draws. If this draws like an exile target thing, we might exile this. It's been a hot second since I've seen Great Henge out of the opponent's archetype. This card fell off a lot because it like is supposed to be good at grinding, but like isn't good against our set. Ooh. So we're getting pauses here, and they didn't play anything else, so I assume there's a collected company in my future. Which could get rid of this. Yeah, definitely Mecha Art. In fact, we'll have a full Modern Horizons 2 card list. So I'll probably have that be my direct to YouTube video this weekend. Do they not have company, or do they just mess up? Wow, no company. It's huge. We took their tree hostage. Well, this is like not so much a hostage as we plundered their tree, chat. Hostage taker is coming for your booty. I didn't play against Gandalf. You can have a smiley face. We've played 4 matches of Magic, and there's been no Gandalf so far. As someone who has little YouTube time lately, how are the direct YouTube videos doing compared to uploaded deck VODs? They get more views on average than individual deck videos, but that also doesn't surprise me because like they're short. Like one of the reasons why my YouTube channel has never really taken off is because the type of content I upload to YouTube isn't considered good YouTube content. So the types of things the average YouTube viewer wants to watch tend to be more short and concise. And the types of things like the top 5 and the Meta Monday videos and stuff are more ideal YouTube content. My girl opponent missed their 3rd land and conceded. Okay, sure. Or maybe they had somewhere to go. You know, maybe their doorbell ring or something. Thraben University was talking about exactly that in his 5-year retrospective, he regrets not making direct to YouTube content sooner. I mean, I don't really regret it. Like, it's as someone who understands how much money YouTube ads make, like, the odds of direct to YouTube content taking off to a point where the amount of ad money it brings in makes it worthwhile is like astronomically small. Like there's a reason why like if you look at my direct to YouTube content, like I don't intend to stop making it, but like it's pretty low effort. Like my direct to YouTube content is literally 0 editing. It's me doing one take live on OBS and saying I like this take, upload it. If I flub or don't get my wording right in like the first third to a half of a segment that I'm making, I'll just reshoot it from the start. But like, if I flub or fumble over my words in the second half, I just say fuck it and upload it if I'm happy with the rest of the cut. Video editing is incredibly time consuming to do well. To be fair to YouTube silence, I think your probability of taking off on YouTube and Twitch is very comparable. They're both infinitesimally small. It's just once you're already successful on one of the platforms, it doesn't really make sense to put a lot of effort into the other. Alright, so I want to leave green mana open here in case we draw a goose. Ideally, we're looking for a land, but nice. Okay, so I think we bottom the Oath and take the land here, because I would like to draw another land next turn, ideally. This deck has felt sweet so far, yeah. Our Auras matchup doesn't seem like it's good, but that's fine. Auras isn't super popular anymore. Not to brag, but I went undefeated from the Plat 4 to Diamond with the Collected Company, beating everything from Just Kai to food. Hey, nice, Snowfire, congrats. Alright, I think I'm gonna EgNivmatic here and sack this to get Skyclave Apparition for the Sedgemoor Witch. And then next turn we can go second Incarnation, fish some friends up. Maybe I want to wait on this. Maybe we want to, like, Disinformation Campaign first. Yeah, that exactly there, Tordoff, is why I put the small amount of effort I put into YouTube. YouTube is a Twitch discovery platform for me. To put it eloquently. It is a way in which people find out I exist on Twitch. It's like people, I often have people ask, like, Jeff, why do you say, like, the little, like, my little quip, thanks for paying my bills when people sub on Twitch? Like, that's just me being genuine, right? Like, 80% of my income doing content is, like, Twitch subs. And ad revenue, all things considered, is pretty negligible. We're not here to not get a dragon, right? Found your YouTube while watching Lantern Control matchups. That's impressive. It's impressive that you watched my Lantern Control gameplay and concluded that you wanted to watch more of this. So, the reason why I don't think getting Yarok there is correct, because, well, obviously, Cavalier of Night is something. I think the odds of them having a removal spell of some sort there was high. Oh, I should have taken the Arcanist there, right? Because when this dies, it gets this back. So, Disinformation Campaign takes a card, and then this is going to turn Fox News here into a Nicol Bolas, which takes another card. Roar! Klothys makes mana, we can flip Ravager. Yeah, what does flipping Ravager do? Oh, it gets back Niv-Mizzet Reborn. Alright, in. I don't know that it's the right play, chat, but it's the sweet play, so we're gonna make it. Listen, you don't register the deck that we're currently playing to make the right plays, okay?
This power is incredible. Death is nothing to me.
I guess Sedgemoor Witch has Menace. Do I want to turn Klothys into a... Do I just turn Klothys into a hostage taker? think I do, right? It keeps my Planeswalker alive? It's going well, Lucas. Because even if they draw a removal spell to kill this, this can't attack this turn. Which means Bolas lives. Got me. But our knowledge was endless, opponent. Come back, opponent. I wasn't done playing Magic yet. Alright, so Vanishing Verse seems great here. Extra Klothys sounds good. Knight of Autumn probably doesn't have many targets on their side. Most of my cards seem good here. Good at grinding them out. I'm gonna be greedy and cut a Paradise Druid. Jeff, I don't have this many wild cards. Please stop. Please stop. Please stop. Have mercy, Jeff. If you listened really carefully, when I flipped the Nicol Bolas and reanimated Niv-Mizzet Reborn, you could hear 1,000 wild cards cry out in pain and terror. Yeah, EgNivmatic's been sweet. We've yet to have an EgNivmatic be stranded without enchantments, and Niv's been hitting like 1 to 3 cards consistently, which is nice. Joke's on you, I've already lost these wild cards to other previous piles. It's true, you know. I think Tempered Steel's great. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a breakout Tempered Steel deck at the championship event this weekend. I think that archetype is underappreciated and underplayed. I guess I want a red source technically, huh? We'll keep both of these. Red's the one color I'm missing. Nice, nice. Wow, got a Cavalier out of him. We love to see it. So we'll go Goose into Vanish the Witch. To play a tap land here. They are 2 cards off of escaping this, but they're also missing a land, so we've got that going for us. It's a nice clean answer there. Okay, so now we'll draw Sky Noodle, play Paradise Druid. Had to reset when I saw you playing something as sweet as EgNivmatic did. What's going on, Dazin? This was a viewer submitted idea. Can't take credit for this one. It says Magecraft, pick a thing up, right? Non-legendary creature card. They pick. That's why they could pick Cavalier back up. Got it. So, I think we just Skyclave this, right? So 4 CMC. And I'm gonna go ahead and hold this Glacial in hand in case they they croc to me this turn. Like a big passage could croc to me, or like land discard spell could croc to me. You're tearing this family apart! And then we'll play the Glacial out because we drew the Stomping Ground. Yeah, they're gonna kill Yarok here before we can Sky Noodle.
Great. Don't you just love the smell of death?
We'll draw one before we scribe. Nice. I think the one on my site is fine. I think I don't have enough games with either to decide. But I think the 3-color mana base seems ambitious. I think I'd rather play. I don't know if I like blue, white, or red, white better. I haven't played the Esper, but 3-color mana bases are rough. And like, does the Esper build play Blinkmoth Nexus? Because that card's really good. Do I want a second Klothys? I think I'm bottoming. That's fantastic.
I have no interest in fighting fair.
Alright, so we're just gonna gobble them up next turn, right? We just like binding, kill your Croxa, play Klothys, Yorion, kill the Liliana. There's 7 mana rolled up here already. Yeah, there's still consistency issues, Griffin. And like Whirler Rogue was like really good in the deck we played the other day. The animator was like fine, but like Whirler Rogue was awesome. Alright, 4 cards in here, so need to put 2 more in there to be able to escape this turn. Our enchantments are so small. It's not the size of your enchantment, chat. It's how you use it that matters, okay? We're holding on to this because of stuff like Croxa. We're just passing here. We'll probably sack this to Scry. Is Acolyte of Affliction better than Golgari Findbroker? That's the one that mills you, but it has a worse stat line, right? If I recall correctly. I think I like the better stat line because we're usually just tutoring it. GG! When your Niv-Mizzet Reborn animates your God of Destiny. Nailed it. Someone earlier during the deck tech said the mana base in this deck was a work of art, and I told them to wait and see. I think we can confirm that the mana base is a work of art at this point. The Foliar is an interesting inclusion in the archetype. Neat piece of top end. I don't know that it's worth giving up with the Wellspring as a companion, but neat idea. I really liked the Wellspring and the Mardu Arcanist Witch deck. So the thing about like Light Scribe triggers and things like Teferi's protection is they play the audio sound simultaneously for every permanent they're impacting. So they're louder depending on how many things are being impacted by them. So the problem with Jund Arcanist is that I think Acharka's command is just much worse than Silverquill command with Arcanist. Because, like, Acharka's command is like a sweet kind of linear thing, but, like, if you're not having a good board, it's just much worse than... It's just much worse than Silverquill command. Pokemon Go's so good. I gotta walk 100 miles this summer so I can get my blue Mew. I hate that they limit you on how much PvP you can play each day though. Like, I wanted to stream some Pokemon Go PvP, but you can only do 25 battles a day, or 30 if you carry them over from the other day. So, like, you can't stream that much of it because the battles don't last that long. Well, this is our first game where we haven't had enchantments for this, but we also just, like, don't have spells, so... Yeah, Dromcomm's a very good card. It's a good chunk of miles. How far am I? I am 10 kilometers in. It's technically 151 kilometers, which is about 100 miles, like 93 miles or something like that. We do have some sick Yorion Goose synergy. Yeah, we're gonna do Pogo at some point. I think I'm gonna, I think when we finish Ghost of Tsushima, which should be done this week or next week, we'll fit in a day of Pogo battles before we dive into my next variety game. They're using Quandrix's Apprentice to fuel discard spells like Lightning Axe and Faithless Looting. That's kind of gas. Hey, what's going on, Fish? Yeah, barring any whale activity, we should get Tabs in today. If you miss it live, it'll be up on YouTube's for sure. I think we've died, chat. I guess, are there any useful 4s in my deck? There aren't, right? I have Niv-Mizzet that can block, technically. Yeah, I tried Subnautica. I just wasn't into it. I could just, like, hope to not die to Shock or Second Phoenix, like, keep Klothys to gain life. Probably ambitious. know. I'm not super big on exploration / survival games. I've talked about it before, but in general, I prefer my video games to play like movies. And Subnautica's more of like an exploration / survival game than that. Apprentice clears brainstorms. Oh, it does, doesn't it? That's cute. That seems like a sweet piece of innovation, the archetype. Yeah, but there's a difference between a game having a story and a game being like a movie, right? Yeah, I don't like, that's kind of like when people tell me, like, what's it called? Dark Souls technically has a story. Like, there's, like, world development if you dig into it, but, like, I don't want to have to go looking for the story. I want it to be, like, the key defining thing of the game. Yep, Apprentice was really impressive for the opponent here. For sure. Dead Space is one I've heard things of. I've got quite a backlog at this point, though. As an adult gamer, believe it or not, I have a backlog of games I want to play at some point. If you want to see my backlog, it's on public display in the queue. There's a list of games that I've purchased on sale at various points. Yeah, that is a main deck Fry, which is probably not as... I guess it's tough, right? Because, like, Fry's probably not a great sign of a healthy format in the main deck, but they also have, like, Lightning Axes and Faithless Looting, so they can afford... Oh, this is a bit of a non-bow. They put this on top, but now Quandrix Apprentice impulses past it, right? So they don't get the Lightning Axe. Yeah, so Lightning Axe goes away now. If we draw a decent enchantment here, we could end up in an okay spot. Like another Incarnation would be sweet. Okay. Defense! Defense! Do they have a third Lightning Axe is the question, or another Fry? The cycling better than gaining 3. So if I drew a land with the cycling that was untapped, I'd get to do both. They discarded a Niv-Mizzet they could have cast. Well, that's terrifying. It's a shame our deck is only a red splash, because it would be great to play this card. But we just don't have enough red in our mana base to cast it consistently. Our goose is cooked, chat. Alright, so this needs to hit a exile target monocolored thing. Well, I guess I had the food technically, right? So we're not dead yet. Second Niv lethal. Okay, so extra one of these, extra one of these. This is probably fine, like not great, but fine. Rallier seems meh. Findbroker is meh. Trim one of the Disinformation campaigns. Vanishing Verse, only if Phoenix do we want all three? Yeah, definitely, because they're like super likely to have Phoenix, Derek. Their deck is like, has so many cantrips in it, right? And so much card selection, their odds of not having a Phoenix in a game is like really low. There's a good chance if we have Vanishing Verse, they have a target for it. And we're only an 80 card deck, right? So like, and we're an 80 card deck, so like playing 3 copies, like playing 2 in a 60 card deck. Alright, need the black source, but as that's guaranteed, and if we find a black source, the rest of the hand is very good. Never didn't have it, Magic's a skill game, Swish, etc. Mana base is perfectly constructed. Easy game, easy life. You get like Mystic Disputed or something here. We have a lot of expensive blue spells. It's fine, we gotta just get through cards like that at some point. Might as well be sooner rather than later. How do we feel about just like Tolsimir? Gain a life and start attacking. I think I'm into it. I don't really want to run this into a second dispute here when I have something else I could do. If I didn't have anything else to do with my mana this turn, I'd probably run this out, but I don't think there's any reason to run head on into a second dispute. They can easily be on 4 post board. Get a lightning axe for this. And hopefully they like tap out here to put a Phoenix into play, and then we get to drop the Reborn. Yeah, Niv plus Goose technically turn on the God of Destiny. Do you think Klothys getting turned on by Niv is canon, or is that just fanfiction? Cast Muldrifter. Go. Dunk. Beep beep. Niv's a big boy, chip. I'm gonna attempt to cast this as a deal 6. Morning, Kraken. I agree, Lucas. The competitive matches of Arena should have a 20-minute per player timer, in my opinion. 30 minutes is obscene. Yeah, I think Vampu thought we boarded. I'm gonna go ahead and run it back. Yeah, I don't know about the Niv-Mizzet top end. Maybe the growth spirals make it okay, but the core of Quandrix Apprentice inside of Phoenix to fuel things like looting and Lightning Axe seems great. Yes, yeah, exactly that, Dr. Mr. The fact that arena matches can technically last almost an hour and 5 minutes is very silly. If sanctioned matches of Magic have a 50-minute timer and they're so much slower in paper than we play on Arena, like, Arena should be closer to that. In my opinion. Yeah, you have two minutes to sideboard. Also, you technically can play 4 games on Arena. Fun fact, competitive Magic isn't best of 3, it's first to win 2 games. I'm not casting Klothys here because I don't want to run into a hard cast Mystic Dispute. Well, so, bullet magic would be different than what I'm describing. Like, bullet magic would be like 5 or 10 minute clocks for a best of 3, and that could be sweet. Honestly, I would like an overhaul system of the Magic Arena clock in general. So, to speak positively of the dead for a moment, one of the things Artifact did better than any other card game out there was the round timers in Artifact were just chef's kiss perfect. And for people that never played Abomination Dumpster Fire of a game, how the round timers worked in Artifact was each player started with a very small amount of time on their clock, and then you got bonus time as you played the game up to a certain maximum amount of bonus time, which was a really, really elegant way to handle it. Coma Cosmos Serpent. Yikes. Chess mode, sure. Yeah, I'd believe that. It's a really good way to do it, is what it is. I liked it. I liked it a lot. And this card's pretty decent against Gandalf. It gets Aether Gusted, but other than that, like, they don't have, Gandalf doesn't really have instant speed removal to deal with this card, right? Yeah, definitely Lampton. Sorry, I saw your question earlier and I thought I answered my most out of. Alright, so they're tapping out next turn for Coma. So do I want to wait to deploy stuff here? I could play Othakaya. I could also draw Yorion, say go. I'm gonna start with this and see what they do. That just resolved. And, like, even if they have an answer to Hostage Taker next turn, I don't need a permanent Coma answer. I just need a Coma answer for a little bit, so that way I can... kill them with Klothys, right? In fact, I think we just oath their dome here, because the plan is to race them if they can kill my Hostage Taker. And they have, like, fries and lightning axes and stuff, so this could die. Snake, a snake! Oh, it's a snake! A coma, Klothys. Do 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 do. You love to see it, chat. You love to see it. I'm only just old enough to understand that reference. Listen, chat, there's a lot of Zoomers in chat right now that don't understand what I just did, and that's okay. We love them anyways. The opponent's deck is probably great against Gandalf, huh? They have 6 mana Niv, and they have Coma. Imagine being younger than the internet. Listen, we couldn't all have been there when Al Gore was inventing it, okay? Sorry, Apocalypse, I try. You're older than me, but you still don't get it? Well, that just means your childhood was very sad, so I feel for you. Speaking of things as old as the internet, Todd Anderson was talking on Twitter about how he wants to rebrand from his username StrongSad. Which, assuming the number of people in the audience currently who don't get that reference, he's probably right that it's probably about time to lay that one to rest. What if I draw Sky Noodle and then wait to play Fox News until after Yarok? I think that's the play. They don't have a ton of pressure here. I don't know that Jun's necessarily terrible for us. We have a lot of things that don't get claimed the Firstborn. If they have Binding to kill our Yarok before we get value, we could be sad. But outside of a Binding here, I think we're in an okay spot. Little punished for not playing Fox News last turn, but we'll see. Maybe we can get paid off here. My name is Trog, short for Trogdor. Yeah. All right, the proactive scrying here potentially bodes well for us. It means they're looking for a Yarok answer. I play Modern when MH2 drops. The sub-survey implies that we are going to play Modern, yes. Big shout out, by the way, to the over 500 subscribers who have taken a couple minutes out of their day to fill out the sub-survey. Appreciate you. If you still want to give me feedback and make your voice heard on that, you can pop on into the Discord server and find it in the announcements channel there. It's not like a corporate survey. There's 6 multiple choice questions and an optional free answer section. And I do make an effort to read the stuff people write in the free answer section, so it's not just going into a waste bin. To the many people who have asked, speaking of that section, I do not currently have plans for a hot tub stream in the short-term future. No point in attacking with this because the cat comes in and blocks it and denies us lifelink. I really wanted to put the Circle Jerk copy pasta in the short answer, but I know you actually read them and didn't want to waste your time. God bless. Have your kids done the You're So Old stage / look at? Not quite. So there, I think the fact that they were remote school definitely helped with that. I expect when they get back to being around kids more, they'll probably appreciate the fact that I'm much older. We're much older than they are. Ooh. Hey, chat. Yarok doubles up all of these triggers. So, here's a question. Do I kill the moose or do I just gain 6 here? I think I just gained 6 here. And then chat. This is gonna turn Disinformation Campaign into 4-mana Nicol Bolas, which is gonna discard both the cards out of their hand. I like when my boy Yarok gets to put on a show. Put on a show for the people. No, our deck doesn't surveil at all. We're just playing Disinformation Campaign because it draws discards and then sacrifices. I love the smell of fresh burned wild cards in the morning. So, I want to keep the Oath because I'm going to blink Oath with Yorion next turn, and I want to gain more life. We have so much value set up this game that I just want to make sure I don't get burned out, basically. So doing things like gaining another 6 helps ensure that that doesn't happen. Welcome to the circus of value! Lambton for Sultai, Sedgemoor Witch, Quandrix Apprentice plus Brainstorm. Sounds good. You happy to get that added in? I just copied and imported this and realized I already had all the wild card jokes on you. Big mood. Yeah, if I've conned you into playing other things before, you probably have the cards for this. It's true. So I want to put these back into play before we Incarnation. Listen, my opponent hasn't conceded yet, chat. Wow, this is a punt. So I get Vanishing. Oh, wait. Hold. They have Phyrexian Tower. I forgot about Ancient Tomb. Is there any way to quickly check? Yeah, install untap.gg, the overlay extension we're using. They have a desktop client for you at home that aren't streaming too that works very well and does things like what you're asking. Okay. And for hostage takers, next trick, I would like your oven and your moose. Yarok just putting on a clinic this game. Ooh, they topped a card. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. They topped a card, chat. Good. Good little sacrifice deck. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Okay, so I want these knights. I want the extra vanishing verse and the fractures. Rallier hasn't seemed great. Yasharn definitely comes in. Klothys comes in. Do we trim like Nikki B in the campaigns? Like, I know they were okay that game, but that's probably the exception more than the rule, huh? Like, I'm probably going to want to be getting Yasharn and Hostage Taker in general when I'm digging for 4s. Deputy's not good against their deck full of sacrifices. Leave a campaign in so we can have more ways to get to Yasharn. Morning, Damascus. This hand needs an isolated chapel or a different blue-black duel, but pretty reasonable if it, or black-white duel. Reasonable if it finds it. We'll see how greedy they are. Do they take my Skyclave, the card that's good against them, or do they take the Omen of the Sea and try and punk me with my mana? Okay, they're gonna try and punk me. We have 30, our deck is currently 50% lands, according to my overlay. We are 24% to draw Black Source. I mean, to credit to the opponent's play, their deck probably can't beat ours if ours actually gets to play Magic, so taking our card that tries to punk us out of the game is probably smart on their part. Worth noting on the pig here that there is only a forest in my deck. There is not a basic plains. Invictius. You know, the lineup of things I had from other people were just so reasonable. I've decided to not cut in front of them. I gotta figure out what I want to fit in for that still. It's not the black source I wanted for Christmas. And then I think we're probably too far gone at this point. Opponents gamble on taking our Omen of the Sea, paying off here. Pretty unfortunate, you know, our deck has 38 lands in it. Yeah, 38 lands plus 4 copies of Goose. She get to play Magic this game. Yeah, it was funny. I hemmed and hawed over if I wanted to get a 2080 Super last summer because I knew the 3080s were coming out sometime soon, and I'm really glad I ended up pulling the trigger on the 2080 last summer because like getting a 3000 series card seemed like it would have been an impossible task. Our hand's pretty good. Any of these cards could be the take depending on what their hand looks like. Missing red currently for that. It's our least common color in our mana base. Yeah, I'm super, you know, the PS5 is really funny because like Christy and I didn't realize they were difficult to get, and I just like, I made an offhand comment to my wife, hey, the PlayStation 5s are up for pre-order, can you get us one? I think I want to stream some games on it. And she just like opened Target and ordered one, and we got it on release day. It was funny, I remember her being like, I can only get you a version with the disc in it. They're out of the digital only ones. Are you okay with spending the extra $100 to get a CD you'll never use? And I was like, yeah, I guess. I remember hawing over it for a minute. Like, do I really want to do that? Do I really want to pay the money for the CD player? All right, do we... I think we're just supposed to play the Moose here, right? It could be right to Vanishing Verse this. It's for the 19 months F Dragon. Welcome back. Yeah, we're gonna pick up. We're supposed to be getting assuming they're available for purchase, we're gonna wait to get a third Switch until the new hardware model comes out. Listen, chat, speaking as someone who has approximately 4 dozen Nintendo Switch game cases sitting under his television, I greatly prefer digital. My wife is a big fan of physical copies of things though, so like for the game system she cares about, we buy physical, but all my PlayStation stuff is digital only. Just way more convenient. More power to you if you like the other stuff, but yeah, there's rumors that we're supposed to be getting new Switch hardware soon. I think we keep this, right? It's castable. I have this Omen. I have a Klothys I can't cast though. And a Niv I can't cast. Well, so one thing that did change while you were out Invictus is that all deck submissions on the channel are now $50. So like all of the decks that we're currently queuing up today also had people contribute $50 towards them. Makes the queue a little bit more manageable. Having like 3 weeks worth of decks backlogged at the lower price was a little stressful. The higher price means we only have like a 3 to 4 day backlog tops. Railing Vortex. I think it's just this, right? Yeah, Yasharn doesn't stop Incarnation. So, little bit of a mana problem here, waiting on this red source. Definitely keeping Niv. Go Blank wasn't a card I was playing around, probably should have been. Should have held this extra land to keep my 2 spells here. Nice. Okay, they don't have a discard spell or a way to kill the goose. We get to drop Big Daddy next turn. Doesn't do it. Oh! Oh no! Yasharn shuts off the goose! Oh no! Oh no! Chat! Oh, the pig! Oh man, that's just good deck building, chat. Excellent deck building. That's the kind of big brain plays that you come to this stream to see, I know. I can't attack, because then the devils kill me. Fracture doesn't kill the pig. Oh man, that's rude. That's rude. Oh yeah, I had it over here, princess. I got you. Alright, is this too late? It's the good stuff right there, chat. The good stuff right there. I like the way you do that right there, right there. This deck's been excellent so far. Lot of fun, generated really good quality games of Magic. Maybe I should take their Devil, actually. Yeah, I'm probably supposed to take their Devil, huh? Concession Yarok. Concession Yarok, chat. Things you love to see. It. That's a sweet set. I like it. I like when a plan comes together. That was gas. Yeah, I don't. So the big question in my mind is, like, we've played other Enigmatic Incarnation variation. We actually played one yesterday or the day before that also felt very reasonable. I don't know if I have a good takeaway for comparing this to that directly. This did feel pretty good. This deck was more base green than the other one. That one was a little bit more all in on the enchantment theme. And the fact that this build has to play some extra cards to make Niv-Mizzet good gave us different play in some different spots. Renegade Rallier was pretty whatever throughout the course of that set, and I feel like I kind of want like one more 4. I definitely felt like we kept ending up with 3s and not having enough to sacrifice to get good 4s. So like maybe I just like cut the Rallier and we just like play a Shifty Boy main, because, you know, Gandalf. And then honestly, you could play a 4th Shifty in the sideboard or just something else too, but the core of this felt very reasonable. There were definitely some games like that last one where our final red source was tough to find a couple of times, but that's kind of expected based on the mana base. If you look at our mana here, we have what, 6. Yeah, we're only playing 9 red sources plus, you know, 4 of these plus 2 of these, so it's like 15 red thereabouts, which I think that's close to correct. Maybe trying to fit 1 to 2 more in here. The mana base isn't simple, to say the least. I feel like whenever someone sends me a 5-color Niv-Mizzet build around, they get their money's worth out of me on the mana base, because like it easily takes me 2 to 3 times as long to build mana bases for decks like this. Yeah, this deck would really like a mana confluence or something like that. just some way the Triomes go a long way, but they only do so much. All right, we're gonna shift gears to our next deck of the morning. Let's play some green-white tokens, huh? Is Bring to Light coming